Alright everyone, welcome to this brand new live stream. Everyone, welcome that is just now joining. Awesome to see everyone already starting to comment on this, so thank you all for joining me today. Today we're going to be playing as the Islamic Republic of Iran, or just Iran, just if you're a pleb, I guess. But anyway, today we're going to be basically fixing Iran's shattered economy. So if we actually look over here, we see that we have nearly a 4% deficit at the beginning of the game. Well, actually, not really at the beginning, but we do have, we're about 5 months into the year 2020. We're not playing with COVID today. I just wanted to play as Iran. Just kind of trying to build up their economy instead of getting the economy basically destroyed by COVID. I'm the first person to like everyone hates Iran almost. I'm not surprised. Well, I mean, there's a lot of strategic allies that Iran seems to have at the beginning of the game. One of them seems to be China, that we have really good relations with Vietnam. India seems to not really care about us, but doesn't hate us. Iraq has really good relations with us, which is actually really different because that was actually not something that we saw in previous versions. So I think it's pretty interesting that that Iraq and Iran actually have really good relations. So we actually go over here and we can go. We have really good strategic relations, but our economic relations seem to be suffering, so no wonder I was not able to create a high-speed rail line, because we do not have good economic relations. I think we could come over here. Let's go ahead and start giving them some aid. That way we can actually start getting them to come over to our side of the aisle. Relations sometimes are wrong in Power and Revolution. Yeah, this is a big mistake if this is really wrong. So, and I think, I mean, this was as of the 2020 edition, and this was after the attack on Iran, or the attack on that Iranian general at the beginning of 2020. Brazil's relations in game are, for example, all wrong up until 2018. Brazil had good relations with pretty much everybody. Yeah, I think I actually played Brazil a couple of times in that, and I noticed that. Dude, when are you gonna play Suzerain? Whenever I get, I think I'm gonna have to look at the price again. Maybe I can get my hands on it sometime soon, and I can make a gameplay about it. So I'll go ahead and look into that. And I think I know I've said I'll play it like once or twice, but I just have not looked into Suzerain. Suzerain, I guess I'll call it that. And unless I am saying it wrong. But let's go ahead and start looking at some things about our economy. So our economy is starting to balance out. I was going on a little bit of a spending spree. So if we actually look, we're hovering just below about 40%. So if we are about 41.16% as our public debt as percent of GDP, and then we apparently owe $565 million to the World Bank for some reason. So I could make efforts to start paying off that debt that we do owe the World Bank. So if I can actually go over here, let's go over to the World Bank, ask for a reduction in debt. Aimed at fighting poverty. Among other services, this bank offers funding to states in difficulty. It can accord debt relief to countries that have contracted debt from it. So we have about, so I mean, that gets paid off about every quarter. So if we just continue to pay off our debts, and I don't think we're going to be able to have a reduction in debt, because our deficit has kind of gotten a little bit worse since the beginning of the game. I felt like I've aged twice my age after finishing the game. I can't wait, my dude. Alright, I can actually look into it if it's actually that good. Do you know that the 2020 edition is broken? Probably about COVID, if you're talking about COVID. I had a bug with Syria that they have an equipment list of 49,000 of the last fighters, something similar to anyone. I've not played Assyria, so I would not be able to tell you. Did you get rid of the sanctions? Yes, I did. I always see Spain fighting Morocco. Yeah, I always see that too, so you're not alone on that one. Ron Tonato, hello, welcome to the live stream. Goktug, I guess Goktug? I know I'm skewering that name possibly, but hello, welcome to the live stream, and not seen you here, at least in a while. I have not... Wait, oh, Spain is fighting Morocco. They are fighting. Oh god. It's literally May, and they're already at war with each other. That's, that is kind of funny. Let's go over to here. Let's go to politics, and then let's go over to the World Trade Organization. So we are not a part of the World Trade Organization, so that means that we are free to tariff and sanction whatever we want. So I think we could actually put a oil and natural gas sanction on Spain if we wanted to, but I don't know if we're going to be retaliated against if we tried to do that. Russia, yep, this is exactly what I was waiting for. I wanted to see, actually we could go with the Chinese, because the Chinese seem to want to give us some more money. So if we could actually get the Chinese, and then I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Russians to get us to join the program as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Chinese and the Russians on my side. Looks like we have the Chinese. We're using the Chinese launchpad, so that's unfortunate that we couldn't use our own, but because we're partnering with the Chinese and they wanted to give us over $300 million, nearly $300 million, so we are going to offer that and definitely take them up on that. So hashtag World War III in the making. Spain wants to colonize Morocco again. Yeah, I know they do. I wish the approval rating was a little more realistic. Yeah, same. Honestly, I wish it was realistic to a point to where, you know, I'm not hovering around 98% and then I just, you know, send the police into one like one protest and then I like die, just perish. I wish that didn't happen, but unfortunately that's what happens. So just an overview of what's going on since I started the game. So at the beginning of the game, around March time, if we actually go over to Parliament, we did have a parliamentary election, and they had 2 rounds that we went through. In the first round, I got over 50% of the vote in the parliamentary elections. So if we actually look over here, the second round of results gave me 71% of the parliaments that I have. Except one of the things is that if I go over here, determine state legality with regard to political parties, we do have a tolerated multi-party system under state control. So that combined with if we go over to Parliament and then change the system of elections for Parliament, we actually have a majority system. So that combined with the state control over the Parliament, basically that is what gave me my 71%. Plus, I also did have a massive amount of popularity at the time. So we did get a decent amount of popularity, which also boosted the amount of seats that I got. So I have essentially a super majority in the Parliament. The only thing about the Parliament is that they have a consultative role and they no real power within the Islamic Republic. So we do not have to worry about Parliament, except unless we want to move it over to that they have that power to vote on laws, but they cannot move against the government with any motions of no confidence. Guys, I might be blind. All I see is sanctions. Nothing else. Help. Yep, same. Only thing is that I did get rid of the sanctions from the United Nations. So if we actually look over here, we do not have any sanctions against us. Sanctions current, none. So that is great that we do not have any sanctions against us in the world stage. So even the United States, one of the funniest things about that is that if we go over here, consult adopted resolutions, I did move on this on the 15th of January of 2020. So if we actually click over here, we had 15 people vote in favor of the resolution, including China, France, Russia, the United Kingdom, and the United States even voted for us for that resolution. Germany seemed to be on the Security Council at the time, so that is interesting to see that Germany has that power. I mean, we wouldn't have thought about that. I don't know how many years ago, except I think the West Germans were on the Security Council a decent amount of times during the Cold War. How can you fight unemployment with Syria? The problem is that expenses are massive, and 59% of the state income is from the international aid. Jesus Christ. So the economy isn't really existent. What is your goal with this episode? Fix the economy of Iran. For Luca, basically, if we go over and look at Syria, just before I go ahead and start getting into the policy measures instead of reading chat this entire time, $69 billion GDP. Their deficit is 3.89%, and they have a very weak currency. Actually, Syria seems to have a stronger currency than Iran has, so that's some food for mouth. Debt to GDP ratio is about 31% for both. $4,124 is their GDP per capita, and they have 122,000 people. So one of the things about that is that basically some of your goal should to get rid of the entire terrorist organization or make peace with them. What you could do is that you could probably make peace with the Kurds up in the north. So if you actually make peace with them, allow them to have that territory, or if you want to hold on to the territory that you have, then go ahead and fight the terrorist organizations. The biggest goal at the beginning of the game should be to fight those terrorist organizations that you have in your territory. So fight ISIS or whatever this is. I think it's Al-Qaeda. Fight Al-Qaeda, fight the Kurds, and then take back that territory under your control. Once you get those regions back under your control, you can possibly try to make peace with those organizations. And a recommended thing is that you should probably just try to have a normalization, a peace agreement. That way you can allow them to serve in your elections. But if you are able to have a decent amount of popularity, you could fight their I guess support within the people of your country. One of the other things that you could do is that you could change the song real quick. Nope. Let's go over to Russia. There we go. And basically, again, fight the terrorist organizations, take back the territory. And then I think one of your best ways to grow your economy is, even while you're fighting these terrorist organizations, you need to make sure that you are able to get that growth. So start signing some trade contracts if you can, and start trading away your resources. This might seem a little bit weird because, you know, you're fighting a major war, so then you're concentrating on trying to get trade out or something like that. So you're trading away your resources. In a realistic standpoint, kind of doesn't make sense, but in a gameplay standpoint, that's exactly what you need to do. If there's any other way, the only other thing is that I have not played Assyria before. I think I played Assyria like once or twice. I really want to play Assyria because Syria has a really interesting history, and just I kind of like the borders that they have. I like the borders between Syria and Iraq. But yeah, you need to focus on getting that growth up. I don't know what their growth is right now. Let me look. Yeah, -6% at the month of May. So if you can actually get their growth to at least maybe 3-5%, then you can help out a little bit, but you probably wouldn't have the money to, you know, subsidize or anything like that. And that's just, you know, a part of playing Assyria. I mean, you're basically not the economy as much, and the economy is already trashed to a point that it possibly just might be unplayable. I mean, in Venezuela, I know Venezuela is basically unplayable because the hyperinflation that they are going through at the beginning of the game, 76.48%, I mean, in the month of May. Look, I mean, the guy that's in there right now, Javier Ramuno, he has 0% approval, and he's an AI. Usually AIs can keep their popularity pretty much higher. I mean, if I look at Bashar al-Assad has a 45% approval rating, and I mean, Venezuela has a 0% approval rating. So some countries, and especially Libya, Venezuela, Syria, Iraq was like this at one point, but Iraq seems to the war is over in Iraq. So some countries in this game are just unplayable because of the situation they're in, and the name of that is called a failed state. So you can play as failed states in this game, and you can try to do that, but sometimes, or most of the time, you're definitely gonna fail. I mean, that's the definition of a failed state. So anyway, since I've been going on a long enough tangent already, let's go ahead and look at the situation over here in Iran. So I lowered the interest rate to 1%, just to encourage the inflation rate to continue to go down. We have a low enough growth rate right now that is hovering just above -2%. And that is helping us. That is lowering our deficit a little bit. What we need to do, we need to start encouraging some more growth. So we need to go into some of the economic sectors, start promoting some growth, maybe even exonerating some of them. Can you turn Iraq into a democracy as Iran? Possibly, but I mean, I don't know the laws that are inside of their country. It really depends on making these countries a democracy. I would have to play as both of them in order to kind of have that. I would have to play as both of them in order to have that kind of what do you call it? I guess, you know, democraticizing. I can't say that word, but you know, transitioning one country into a democracy and then having the other country kind of like support certain actions in that country. So I would have to be playing as both of them and just kind of, you know, going back and forth between them. Mustafa program, new partner. Let's go over to the space programs and then look at the Mustafa program, and still have no offers yet from anyone. I was correcting Iraq to Iran. Okay. PG, I just got here 2 minutes ago. What have you done so far besides lift sanctions? Lifting the sanctions, I have promoted a little bit of growth in the country. We're trying to instill, you know, economic growth and recover this economy. I mean, look at this. There's a lot of industrial sectors that are not under production right now, especially weapons. We need to start making our own weapons, especially if we want to be able to face off against the United States in the future. Aeronautical construction, I thought I subsidized you. Let's what do you need? You need electricity, steel, aluminum, electrical materials, and electric components. Until we get a cap on my... See, I need to hold off from the industrial sector, because if I increase the amount of, I guess, electricity draw that I have, I don't have that much electricity draw right now, because if we go over here to energy, we have a deficit right now. We have zero right now. So I have one third generation nuclear power plant under construction just out of the city of Kerman. And then south of Bandar Abbas, I do have a solar power plant that is about 100 days from being completed. AG, thanks for making the economic tutorial. You're so welcome. That was a blast making on my part, and I definitely thank Gabe for helping me with that economic tutorial, especially toward the end. The editing of it was just so oh man, it was just mind-bogglingly hard. Let's go ahead and do the reconnaissance. Yes, terrorist group, the Corsair Free Front. No, I'm not gonna do that right now. So everyone go over and subscribe to Gabe Vogel. Let's help him hit 500 subscribers if we have not. He is closing in on 500. So again, if you have not subscribed to Gabe Vogel, go and subscribe to Gabe and help him hit 500 subscribers. I want to help him hit that goal by the end of next week. So if we can actually have a push to get everyone to subscribe to Gabe, I will love each and every one of you, obviously. And yes, that video with tutorial was great. Thank you so much. It was again, I think that's like my best video to date. I kind of hyped it up as that, and I'm glad that it paid off as that. So again, thank you all for the support that you guys are giving me for that economic tutorial. It took us a long time to make, took us way longer than usual to make. Finished editing episode 2 of India today. Awesome. Everyone go over and subscribe to Gabe so you can watch his India series. How'd you figure out some of the stuff in the economic tutorial? I've been playing Power and Revolution and Geopolitical Simulator for several years, and I've done this research. And I've also made 2 economic guides beforehand, and I just kind of remember that information. Some of it was just kind of like information that I've gained, and I kind of like worked with Gabe on that because we basically made an entire script for the guide. So we kind of like worked with each other and then kind of like confirmed these details, and after we did confirm the details, that's whenever we kind of started making moves on the actual guide itself. Just nothing going on, just the Spanish and the Moroccans just killing each other, I guess. A lot of stuff we found on our own, but since I'm a business administration graduate, I also know a lot about economics in general. Yep. Gabe studies economics in for schooling, so there was a lot of knowledge that he was kind of expressing down on the economic guide himself. So I definitely do again thank him for his knowledge that he expelled, and that's why we kind of said that, you know, on one hand it's going to be a gameplay tutorial, but then on the other hand you possibly might learn a little bit off of about economics itself. Obviously some of the things you can tell whenever it's referring to you could actually tell whenever it was referring to the gameplay, but on other things, you could actually apply that in real life. So that was one of the goals, is that we wanted to talk about not only gameplay economics, but about real life economics as well. Show the religion, PG, I know it will be Islamic, I just want to see it. Allahu Akbar, that's okay. Kebab remover, I love that name, thank you so much. Can you make Iran Christian? Well, let's go over to religions and see what we got. No, we cannot make them Christian. Intensely monitor and restrict the outside majority of religions. So I guess Sunnis, the 90% Sunnis. What about state power? Rules and commandments of the official religion is incorporated into the constitution of Iran. Our budget deficit is 4.2%, so we need to, whoa, it went up to 4.27%, so we are, Let's go over to taxation. We need to start making some moves to, let's look, 15.9% on the redundancy tax. Praying as South Korea, it started with you loving North Korea, had the God inspired, so they hate me again. The Maslow pyramid is outdated. LOL. Maybe a little bit, but then at the same time, it's for the game. I mean, yeah, if in real life it might be outdated, but then on the game, I mean, it was just for the game, so you could just apply that pyramid to the game itself instead of, I mean, and then at the same time, I mean, yeah, I mean, if it is outdated in real life, then you know, we're not saying that was applied to real life, but it's still that kind of like that base knowledge. And then if you're interested in it enough, then, you know, you could look up into it and then say, oh, well, it is outdated. What's, you know, the current thing? And there should be possibly a current thing about it, but that's just more of kind of like a baseline knowledge. I wonder what they'll add for 2021 edition in this game. I know, right? If I hear anything on the 2021 edition, I would I will let you guys know. I will definitely let you guys know. Vehicle registration, tax on internet. Well, we could actually do a internet tax, but not right now. None. Can do that. Exonerations, and it's only $69 million. And I'm gonna go ahead and eliminate the industrial pollution tax. We're gonna eliminate the industrial pollution tax, try to get that growth back that we're losing from the industrial pollution tax. And then let's do, yeah, no, $500 million. And increase the tax on large fortunes to 6%, possibly. Can we democratize Iran? Not whenever my economy is about to go into shambles. I'm gonna have to wait on that. Let's look at here. So I'm gonna go off of the economic guide, and we're gonna do something real quick. We're gonna go over to health. I'm gonna lower by 1 star, 2 stars, $1.5 billion. See, yeah, no, we're not cutting that much off. Battling endocrine disruptors. Let's do 3. And then orphan, fight against cancer, handicap, generic psychiatric. That's $400 million. Let's do 4,000 additional medical staff. So we need to reduce expenses. So yeah, I lost a massive amount of popularity. Not really massive, but it's about 2% of popularity loss. But those smileys are really important. So those are the ones that you want to pay attention to. If that smiley was a little bit more moderate or like yellow, then yeah, I think we would be in a better position, but not right now. So again, whenever we get into a better economic position, we need to make sure that we can. Whenever we get into a better economic position, we need to make sure that we can increase that star once more. Let's go ahead and close out of this. See what's going on in the Spanish-Morocco war. Spain has lost 2,853 people, and Morocco has lost about 14,000 people. Jesus Christ. PG, you can make lots of growth, and after you can increase the industrial pollution tax so you can control your growth and make some money. Well, the only thing is that I'm just trying to concentrate on getting that growth, I guess. We just need a buyer. We need to sign another economic contract real quick. So if I think we could do China. Let's do sales, natural gas. Let's do 146 and 82. Let's do 75. What about 80? Yeah, I think we're gonna do 80. 80 is our consumption, and that's gonna leave us a little bit. Okay, and let's increase this to 430. And let's call this the Iran-China gas agreement. And then we're going to sign that for 3 years. And we're going to send that over. We're going to wait for them. Portugal apparently wants to do a meeting with us. Let's go ahead and accept that meeting. Since they are a Western nation, they actually don't hate us as much as the rest of Europe does. Belarus really likes us, jeez. That's really good. The national defense does not have enough men to fulfill its missions. I know. Gotta love those guys. Agreement negotiation, and Xi Jinping finally calls us back, and 272, 270 or 372. Let's do 375. Whoa, not 300, 3075. 375, 72, and that's going to net us about $30 billion. Send that over for negotiation, and I believe they should actually accept that. Israel industrial sabotage or espionage in progress. Let's go ahead and accept that. And for those who are watching right now, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you have not seen the economic guide for Power and Revolution, please go and watch that guide after this live stream, or if you're too bored of this live stream already, I have that one that is going to be a lot better for you guys to watch. So how can you improve your economy in a nutshell? I'm too lazy to watch the video, LMAO. In a nutshell, I mean, I think it's too complicated to really put into a nutshell. Okay, if you want me to put it into a nutshell, let me get rid of this song real quick and I'll go ahead and put it in a nutshell. And Gabe's probably gonna beat me to this. Watch the guide and live stream at the same time. Be a Giga Chad. Yeah. Okay. Nutshell. Let's look. Make sure your currency is not above 3 to 5%. Make sure your inflation rate is not above 3 to 5%. Don't spend that much because you're going to be getting a lot of debt. Watch your spending. You're going to be pissed because this is in a nutshell. Invest into your economy, into your primary, into your secondary, and into your tertiary sectors. Build energy parks. Build energy. You need energy. The more energy you have, the better your economy will be. In a nutshell, money, 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 money. Exactly. And then individually subsidize your sectors. If you don't have a certain product, like bauxite, you cannot produce that product yourself. So you need to import it, like I'm about to do now. Transportation. Build transportation. Only do that whenever I tell you to build something, build it. And trade in a nutshell. Buy low, sell high. Don't trade your entire economy in one contract. Yes. Whenever it comes to trade, always have an idea of what your GDP is. Because if you're playing as Kenya, and I doubt you can do this, if you sign it, yeah, actually, this is a perfect economy example for this. Kenya has a $104 billion economy. If you're playing as Kenya, do not sign a contract that is more than 5% of that. So do not sign a contract that is worth $5+ billion. Do not sign a contract that is worth 10, 20, 30 billion dollars, because that is going to send your economy spiraling into a inflation crisis. That's how you create hyperinflation in this game. PG, could you note down somewhere on a community post if you want to or something? So you don't even want to listen. Come on. I can't really put it in a nutshell. I mean, the video's there. I mean, it kind of puts everything else in a nutshell, because I'm not really concentrating on just one thing. But anyway, currency. Let's go ahead and check. Inflation is still going down, so we're still waiting on that. I think I might even lower the interest rate even more than it is right now. Contract accepted by China. Thank you so much. 80.7 million tow is getting sent over to China, and we signed it for $30 billion. So that will definitely improve the economic situation as of right now. PG, I have bad memory. Sorry. No, you're totally cool. But I just want you to realize that it's really hard to put this into an... I mean, even if I put it in a community post, it's really hard because this game is so complicated, and then that post... I mean, that post would be... I mean, the 5,000 character limit that YouTube has. I mean, I would be going... Like, if you want me to put it into a nutshell, I would be talking about, like, everything. I have to talk about everything, because if I just tell you, like, 1 or 2 things, or maybe even 5 or 10 things, I'm missing out on a lot of other things, because if you're just going off of that nutshell description, and then you run into another issue, then you're going to come back and you're going to be like, why the hell is this happening? So I know the economic guide is nearly 40 minutes long, but just if you can watch it and then take your own notes yourself and then put it into your own nutshell, that would be the best option for you. Like, the video is really fun to watch. There's a lot of editing in it. There's a lot of jokes in there. So if you just want to put it into your own nutshell and watch it and then just take your own notes, I definitely would recommend that. So I put the pollution control spiraling down. Yeah, don't increase your pollution, industrial pollution tax all the way, because that's going to kill your economy. Let's do this meeting with Portugal. Cereals, they want to purchase cereals. And I actually have a good amount of cereals, so let's increase that to their buying price, 295. 295, 270, the magic number, 270. Let's go ahead and call this the Lisbon Agreement. And it's going to net $662.2 million. I know that's not that much, but I think we could help out Portugal in the food sector. And if it starts hurting our economy, I'm going to go ahead and put that down to 1 year. 249. Let's go ahead and do 260. Whoa, not 360. 260. 260.75. Negotiate that. And accept. And we will, I think that'll be just around the presidential election. Invite to join your Mustafa program. Propose a military alliance. Now we're not going to do any of that right now. Like I said in the live stream after the guide, the game does not handhold you. It's complicated because it is supposed to be the most advanced geopolitical simulator in existence. I agree with that. It's not. This game doesn't really help you in other ways except what you get in these little, notifications that you get all the time. And even then, because dunce cap. I mean, what the hell is a dunce cap? Just off the top of your head, if you don't know anything about geopolitics, about debt, about anything like that. So it's telling you your economic record and debt, combined with what appears to be an inability to take steps necessary to restore market confidence, are the reason for your low rating. What rating is it talking about? Well, if you go over here to debt, it'll tell you about your credit rating. And it's telling me this because I'm spending more money than I am making, and that is increasing the amount of debt that I have. So if we actually, I'm pretty much in a better position because we were hovering about 4%, and now it's down about 3%. So, and the reason is because it's about my sector sales that are going up because of the contracts that I am signing. So let's go over to natural gas. Let's look at my sales. So we're doing an additional $1 billion in sales, and then we're doing a couple $100 million more. Ooh, meeting request from Brazil. Let's do that. Let's go to contracts, see what my natural gas agreement is looking like. $30 billion for the next 3 years. Contract will let us sell at a much better price than usual, guaranteeing us substantial profits. That is awesome. This contract guarantees the sale of a large portion of our production, and the contract revenue is not high enough to really strengthen our economy, but it's still strengthening our economy. This product is particularly profitable, and selling more of it will bring in more profits, and then this contract will not have a significant impact on unemployment. This is the only reason that I would want to make a trade tutorial, so if I can actually make notes on what each of these means and how to improve these metrics, sometimes your personnel is never going to be affected by it. Actually, I have another idea of what kind of contract that I could do. So I'm going to... Let's go over to Turkey. Let's go to contract and building, housing, and roadway. What are we doing with that? Building, housing, and roadway, we got about 10,000 that we could actually sell, so we need to find a buyer for building, housing, and roadway. China's definitely not going to do that. They are like the building, housing, and roadway king of the world. No, don't go to Brazil, PG. Why not? Why not? Let's go ahead and see what they do. No new partner. No new partner is offered to support your program. You could finance it yourself or consider canceling it. I've never gotten that before. No one else wants to... I mean, come on. Russia. Okay, I'm going to invite Russia over for a meeting. Let's do that about a couple days before we have the meeting with Brazil. Congratulations. Congratulate you on your popularity.
The decree takes...
And we get rid of the industrial pollution tax.
No.
Oh, that's interesting. They don't want to help us out. No, whatever. Guess we got a couple of things off of that meeting. I once played as Canada and they literally didn't do anything and got 8% growth, lol. Well, are you sure you didn't do anything? Like, did you just not touch anything and just let the game play?
The decree...
And our deficit goes up to 3.69% again. $104 billion is our expenditure right now. What is our most amount of money that we are spending on one thing? So we're spending $24 billion on Social Security, $16 billion on education, $11 billion on defense, $5 billion on debt reimbursement, so that's not getting any better. It's probably because of our debt reimbursement that we're getting more. Putin's new portrait looks odd. I know, a little bit. You just let the game play. It is lagging. Let me... 9% again. Not really seeing what's going on there. I found out that rent donations really help with poverty and a little bit with homelessness. Yes, it does. So again, I mean, you can find out these things if you play yourself and if you really don't know. If you have anything specific that you want to know, I can definitely help with that. But if you want me to put, you know, my economic guide into a nutshell, if you want... ooh, hang on, we'll look at that in a second. If you want me to put my whole economic guide that took me months to make into a nutshell, I in some ways that I can do that, but in other ways I really can't, because you can't really put this whole game into a nutshell because everything is interconnected. Everything is interconnected. I can control V one question of mine here. Go ahead. And I'll be glad to answer it. Yeah, and then that's what the Discord is for as well. If you have any questions about that, then definitely go over to the Discord and ask your questions there. Military nuclear program, completion of the enrichment center. Mr. President, we've almost finished the enrichment center. The sample of uranium has been transported in order to proceed with the first test. A few weeks from now, the center will be fully operational. See you soon. Awesome, awesome, awesome seeing that.
Greatly improve our healthcare.
If we had a larger budget. Yeah. Military operations. What are we doing over here? Launch procedure to use chemical and bacteriological weapons. Conflicts. There's a conflict, latent conflict between Georgia and Russia. Bombing is happening between Ukraine, Syria, and Turkey. Okay. Okay, actually our deficit went down a little bit. So our deficit just keeps going up and down. It's kind of funny to watch.
Morning.
All right, let's see what Brazil wants. They want to buy milk. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. Sorry. So basically, if I sign 3 contracts that equal 15% of the country's GDP, what happens? If you sign 3 contracts worth 15% in total of the GDP, so if you sign 3 contracts, 5, 10, 15 billion dollars. Each are $5 billion. In total, that is going to, for one, improve the growth that you're getting into that sector itself. Also, by the way, I'm seeing why it's lagging, so I apologize for that. It's just my internet connection. Kinda can't fix that right now, unless I get better internet connection. I just need to, or I just need to go into my OBS and kind of like mess with it. Anyway, yeah, so 5, 10, $15 billion, 15% of GDP. That's going to increase your growth rate to 15%, because the way the game calculates growth is that if you sign if you sign contracts and it goes up to a certain percentage of what your GDP was at the time, basically that does exactly what I'm saying it is. I mean, I'm kind of making it sound like it's obvious, but on face value, it's not obvious. Because if I go over to finance, and we see that my growth rate is about 2%, most of that is being caused because of contracts. My contracts are at about maybe 6%. So if I actually think about it for a second, because I've signed several contracts worth tens of billions of dollars. My GDP is like 460. Yeah, 466. So I just made up about 8% of my GDP through contracts, because my growth rate at the beginning of the game was about negative 6%, 6 or 7%. So right now, not only did I just make up the amount of negative GDP growth that I had, I also gained about another 2%. So that's basically how contracts work in this game, is that right now, and that's not exactly what I want to do. Okay, so actually look, 7.6%. I'm an idiot for not looking over to the right. I made up 7.6% plus another 2%, just about exactly 2.07% just by contracts. And if you want to ask me, that is not what you want to do. The reason that I am doing this is because I'm trying to get myself into a position to where I am able to invest more into the economy. And if I'm able to invest more into the economy, then I can make up that growth, and I can actually let those contracts time out or even cancel them if I'm creating too much growth. And then those contracts would, it's kind of like a give and take, I guess. PoliticsGaming, how do you start deficit spending? Basically, deficit spending is whenever you're in a deficit, and then basically, well, actually, no. Deficit spending is basically like if you have like a 0.5% deficit, and then you just kind of like increase your deficit to like where it is right now just by spending, that's deficit spending. I mean, deficit spending is exactly what it sounds like. But anyway, I need to stop being on these tangents and actually play the goddamn game. Launch negotiations. Let's go ahead and gain some time. They're in a supermarket. Yikes. Delayed it by about 1 week, and let's give the order to attack. So basically stimulate growth with short-term with a few contracts, right? Basically. You need to make sure that you just need to understand what contracts are doing to your economy, because if I'm sitting here as Iran, or maybe even Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is actually a really good example of this, because some people play as Saudi Arabia and then immediately at the beginning of the game sign contracts with like the United States and send them like $200-300 billion worth of oil. What's their GDP? It's $802 billion. So that is a massive amount. That's maybe 20 plus % of your GDP that you're just sending out. And yeah, that's going to boost your economy to about $1 trillion. But the growth rate, the amount of growth that you're creating off of that is going to send your expenses going up, because it's going to send your expenses going up because your inflation follows your, and that's the other thing. And the reason I talk about it like that is because your inflation follows your growth rate. So the higher your growth rate is, the higher your inflation is going to go, and it's going to try and follow that. Let's go over to Russia real quick. Get rid of that song. The reason I'm trying to get rid of that song right now is because for some reason it copyrights on my gameplay, so I'm not able to monetize whenever that song plays. Assault with major success. Awesome. Problem with this game is that it's slow. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best thing. Whoa! Iran power is now on the hands of President. What the heck happened? So it was a push in Tehran, and a tragic end for Hamed Bomali. Okay, June 19th, 2020. I mean, didn't predict the future, unfortunately. Pushis immediately drove the head of government to a national square, absolutely deserted to execute him in a proper manner. The whole country is now under the wing of the military, even when Mohammed Kajad promised to transfer to power after the situation is quote-unquote normal again. The enormous scandal involving there was... Okay, that doesn't make sense, because there was no scandal. I didn't do anything. Iran lost. No, I guess 11,000 points off of that game. We're gonna say no. And POV, you didn't subsidize the military. POV, you didn't hire 2 billion. Oh, that's the reason why, is because of the military situation. That sucks. Oh man. Oh, that was a tragic end. Tragic end to the Iran gameplay. Economic revival. What a game. World simulation. Let's go over to new game. And democratization. while limiting the twitches of the party and the high military command. See, I didn't even do anything. That was weird. Traditional enemies since the Castro Revolution, the United States and Cuba have always had difficult relations, fluctuating at the whims of various American administrations. Since 2016 and a return of power to the Republican Party, relations have been substantially strained. As a leader of the United States, take advantage of the international demobilization due to the COVID-19 crisis to conquer Cuba and make it the 51st American state. Oh man, yikes! Make it the 51st American state. Botswana to Poland. Ireland is really inaccurate in this game. I want to one over Syria as a center left. Do Equatorial Guinea. Equatorial Guinea. Ghana. Republic of the Ivory Coast. Benin. Equatorial Guinea. 964,000 people within Equatorial Guinea. Play as Iraq and invade the United States. Aha! What do you call that? The good old switcheroo. Play the switcheroo in the United States and invade them. Play as the United States or Russia and try to claim over one or another. Play as Brazil opposition. Everyone just has all these suggestions. Let me think about it. Let me think. Who else do we have? I could actually do Poland. Poland would, Ghana has so much oil, you can be rich as hell. Yeah, but it's so small. Let's do World Without COVID. And let's do, Let me, Poland. I'm thinking about Poland. Okay, we got 2 suggestions for Poland. I'll do Poland. And I will, I don't think I'm gonna play that much longer. I just kind of like, maybe want to get a little baseline, for whatever country I'm playing as. Also, everyone, make sure that you, pay attention to the channel. I think I'm going to be releasing a brand new icon today, so I will try to be uploading that very soon. Patriot sounds intensifying. Technocracy, socialism, capitalism. Yes. All right, what do we got? What do we got over here in Poland? All right. First thing first. Let's go over to. First thing is first, let's go over to women. Let's go to legislation and let's make abortion illegal. Let's see what the reaction. Yeah, everyone would hate that. Just like in real life, it's so realistic. It's so realistic. And we could put that to a referendum too. Nah, I'm not gonna do that right now. We do have a lower deficit, so that's good. I think I'm gonna wait I'm gonna wait about a month before I sign any contracts. But we do need to possibly, again, big thing right now. Well, actually, we do have 4.16% growth rate. That is actually really good at the beginning of the game, and we do have a lot of potential to create growth. PG is playing like the real president. Oh no. I pay attention. Don't worry, I pay attention. We are gamers. We hate women here. Jesus Christ, 787. 787. You should if you have Flight Simulator, you should probably add me on Flight Simulator. Jesus Christ, we have a 23% value added tax. Oh yeah. Another thing, if you want this game in a nutshell, do not increase the value added tax for the love of God. Do not. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Addition. Boom. PG, I dare you to turn on the male dominance thingy. I actually can't. See, that's the thing about Power and Revolution, is that you can pass laws to have that happen, but you cannot bring it back. If I go over to women, see, I can do specific criminalization of street harassment, but once I pass it, I can't, once I pass it, I can't repeal it. So the same thing with male dominance, I cannot repeal or, you know, bring that back, basically. Street harassment is described as any form of hostile behavior with sexual connotations conducted in public area. Its criminalization contributes to the equality between men and women, the fight against a certain culture of sexism, and the freedom of movement for everyone. Penalties vary depending on the severity of the offense and can go as far as actual imprisonment. You can do better. Yeah. Determine legislation on prostitution. See, I could actually move it down to illegal except in cases of rape. That would make sense for Poland. That would make sense. People wouldn't like that, and I would probably get the feminist organizations on my ass about it. What is a referendum? Can't spell. Basically what T said. It's basically that the citizens vote on the measure. If you're not able, basically in the game, it's supposed to be used in the case that you cannot get it past your parliament. So you basically can say, like, if the parliament will pass it, we'll go ahead and put it to a vote with the people. Information on the CO2 capture. Ah, yes, that's actually what else I'm going to go after. I'm going to go after stronger relations with Serbia. Should I go after stronger relations with Serbia? I mean, everyone else around me likes me, especially the, looks like the Visegrad group. Is Visegrad even still a thing? I mean, I made a video on it, like, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe? And I don't know what's going on with the Visegrad group. PG, can citizens sometimes be against their own freedom? Yeah, basically. I wish I knew that way earlier, LMAO. Serbia wants Poland. Aw. It's kind of hard to authoritize some countries, though. Yes, it is. Ooh, hang on. I want to see if, let's look. So, to legalize the death penalty. Okay, I could actually put that to a vote. I could actually put that to a referendum, even though I have a 50%. Okay, I'm gonna try to get my approval rating higher. Let's go ahead and see. Yep, the people wouldn't like it, but the parliament would. What is the parliament of Poland called, if someone can tell me? Albania #1, Muhammad was Albania, nuke Serbia. Jesus Christ, stop making me say these things out loud. Currency, let's look at my currency situation, 2.3%. Ask to join the euro. Ooh, should I leave the euro? Should I leave? Should I put that to a referendum? Let's go. I'll actually do that. I completely forgot. Yeah, I'm playing as Poland, and I'm not thinking about the European Union. Leaving the European Union. So people wouldn't like that, but Parliament definitely would actually like to leave it. Leaving the organization is an irreversible decision. A return to the organization cannot be guaranteed and with great consequences. The country that leaves will no longer be bound by the obligations and agreements of the organization, and its relations with the other members will be somewhat altered. So let's go over to comparative maps, go over to politics, and go over to the European Union. Actually, I always forget that Sweden and not Norway is a part of the European Union. Who hates the small bug where it just passes the law? Yeah, I hate that. I absolutely hate that. I'm always afraid of doing that, especially whenever I take a poll. Like, I'm just like, no, don't do it. If you become too much authoritarian, the EU will exclude you anyway. Yep. PG, we have it like Germany. So it's the Shim and the Senate. Says Jim. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. We have it like Germany, so you're a bicameral country. That's what it's called. It's unicameral and then bicameral or tricameral. Which I highly doubt there's a tricameral. I think it's just union and bi. Unless someone can point out a tricameral area, but I highly doubt that exists. Jean, also good evening from your French viewer, me. Thank you so much. Why does it seem like your policies don't affect COVID-19 spread in this game? I think it just follows the IRL data for each country. I think it actually follows the in real life data, but well, as New Zealand, I was actually able to get it down to about 2 people, so I think it's affected by it. It may or may not be. I think it may or may not be a big thing. The funny thing is that I haven't played a COVID playthrough in I don't know how long. And honestly, I need to do some testing on it, and I would love for some other people, because I need to, like, you know, fact check it, I guess, just to make sure like all of it is accurate. 1.81. So that increased my deficit to 0.8, so that's okay. 103 billion in revenue, 107 billion in spending. Why does Belarus hate you? Yeah, it's the political differences, most likely, and they're an authoritarian regime instead of a parliamentary regime. They're also communists. But let me go over here to justice. Let's go to justice. Total independence of the justice. See, I don't think that's accurate. I think it, high court judges appointed by the state. Control measures for judges. So if I wanted to bring it down to that. Yeah, even the parliament's against that. So let's go over to farming. Go to subsidize. Do that to $50 million, and it increases it to 1%. But I could do that. Yeah, public finances are affected by it, but we get a lot of agricultural approval and 8.6% of approval from that. PNR in a nutshell: you saved the country, shaped it into heaven on earth. All would die for you. You lower education budget as an emergency measure by the minimum amount. Down with the idiot tyrant. I think Napoleon created like 4 parliaments in France so he could use the disorder to keep deciding everything himself. Jesus. I actually didn't know that. Russia does not hate Poland, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like they hate us, but also don't like us, so that's usually what light red means. But for those who are watching, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to support me in a more personal way, definitely do a super chat. Super chat helps me out and helps me basically want to continue this. I mean, I don't make that much money off of Power and Revolution in the first place, so if you do want to support me in that, becoming a member, actually, if you guys want to become members, that's only a monthly subscription. To me, I need to get more members on my channel, so if you definitely want to do that, I definitely want to kind of make it a more member-related content. So if you want to be a part of that as it kicks off, definitely do become a member today. Annual maneuvers, creation of a new ambitious space program. That's okay. It's going to Neptune, I guess. Aeronautical, blah 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 blah. think I'm gonna sign a contract real quick, but I mean, unless I want to keep that 4%, I mean, we're at like an ideal growth rate right now, so I don't know if I want to mess with that. We just need to make, like, either get our revenues up or get our expenses down. Let's go over to budget. $38 billion. Yeah, look at that. $25 billion to our debt reimbursement. We do not. Wow, 22.7% of our budget is going to debt reimbursement. Yikes. Yikes. What is our debt? Next quarterly loan is going to be $2 billion, but our public debt is 46.28% of our GDP. PG, what if we made Poland royalist? That'd be awesome. I was the first person to like this video, by the way. Thank you so much. Big shout outs to Asgore for being the first one to like the video, I guess. Hunt didn't know that. PG, your growth in subs. I remember you were at like 1,000 and now you're at 4,500. Felt like no long ago. By the end of 2021, I hope you'll be at 20,000. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really, yeah, I actually just noticed that we did hit 4,500 subscribers. So everyone that is here today, thank you so much for helping me get up to 4,500 subscribers. We are now 500 away from 5,000 subscribers. If you have any ideas of what I should be doing for the 5,000 subscriber special, definitely do make some suggestions down in the comments below or in the chat as this. I will be ending this live stream probably in the next 20 minutes. I just want to play a little bit more of Poland. So here it is. Long live the king. What could be more beautiful than an aristocratic bearing topped with the crown? That would suit you marvelously, Ms. Prime Minister. Oh yeah, Poland has a prime minister and a president. Perception of royalty is often distorted in our day, but if we look at history, we see a number of kings and queens who serve their people with kindness, wisdom, and dignity. In these troubled times, the monarch is a guarantee of stability and can impose a vision and a path for the benefit of all. Needless to say, we could do away with the complications of democracy and modify the Constitution in order to benefit a perpetual and undivided authority, or otherwise, what's the point? To do this, a change of party may prove to be necessary. Think about it. So if we actually go over here, let's go over to party, change political parties, and let's look at the royalist faction. So we go over there. Royalist party non-existent. So we would have to form a party. A sitting chief of state changing parties is extremely rare. It leads to strained relationships. The people will view this decision negatively and will likely create instability in the political program. A fringe element of supporters in the abandoned party will remain loyal to the chief of state and will join the new party whether it has already existed or a newly formed party. This fringe element will rely on the chief of state's popularity and the political leanings of the new party. Finally, in light of this new situation, the entire government will step down. It will be necessary to appoint new ministers. So if we wanted to join the royalist faction, then that is a possibility. I think honestly, if we did that, I think I would. I mean, it would be really hard. I would want to go after Lithuania and then just reform the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. I mean, that's a possibility. That's a possibility if I were to go toward a monarchy in Poland. I mean, it would make sense. It would make sense. And I mean, in the future, I could just try to get Lithuania to possibly leave the European Union and then just invade them and then form the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Let's go to Germany. And get rid of that song. I want to kill the CCP. How? Invade them. Just firebomb Peking. That's all you gotta do. Firebomb Peking. That's it. Just non-stop missiles. all the way through Peking. That's how you do it. I'm gonna lose this channel, and it's gonna be y'all's fault. It's gonna be all y'all's fault. Man, someone's gonna look down at these videos in like 20 years and just go, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Alright, let's continue going on. But hopefully people realize that it's a joke, and also I'm playing a video game where I'm literally just playing as a country, so if you're watching this and you're just like, what the fuck? Just, it's a joke. Don't worry about it. It's ironic. Fun fact, Poland is one of the few European countries not to have a royalist and monarchist movement because there has not been a hereditary king for like 5 centuries. There's just no royal family. Even though France actually has a royal family, like the Napoleon is still there. There's still like a Napoleon that has a royalist faction within France. Kind of hate it that they ganged up on their anti-piracy version. I mean, kind of makes sense. It's a game company and they don't want people pirating their game. Ireland doesn't. We've never had a monarchy in Ireland. I thought they had a monarchy. Huh. If you can thank the British for, you can thank the British for that. Polish, yes sir. No, because we're never a unified nation, just lots of small chiefdoms. How to go to war without getting murdered by the United Nations, how to deal with the one over country afterwards. Are you drunk, PG? Maybe. No, it's like 3:43. I don't drink. It's at least not at this hour. Alright, we are now in the month of February. Let's go ahead and invite the United States over for a meeting. Ronald Trump. So let's invite him over, and we'll see him this weekend. A great way to increase purchasing power is to lower the income tax and replace it with the financial transaction tax. Okay, could actually do that. Just the economic effects of that. You always have to pay attention to what the economic effects of that are. But you're sacrificing businesses, though. Well, not really. The financial... Oh, no! I got a cyber attack! God damn it.
We are currently under a cyber...
Damn it. You bitches. Total paralysis. The economy is now in a shutdown status. Yep, airport is out of order. Current cyber attacks. Unfortunately, that sucks. That sucks. Return to normal. GDP losses have risen to $109 million. It has proven to be a very difficult task for a financial analyst to have determined the costs of the nation. Georgia wants to have a meeting with us, so we can actually do that. Return to normal. All affected services and businesses have restored their applications, updated their protection system, and we are going to...
We were able to trace the source of the attack.
What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? The freaking British did it. Oi, then. What's going on here? Got a cyber attack? Oh, we can actually get rid of the National Service. Let's get rid of the National Service. I don't think it ended that well last time I did that, but hopefully we don't have a... No! My meeting with the United States! No! No! I missed out on like $10 billion worth of product sales! No! No! I didn't see it! I didn't see it! I didn't see it! Oh. Oh. Well, okay. Let me just go to the one literally right next to me. Whatever. I'll go to Germany. No, I'm not gonna have a meeting with Paraguay. Alright.
Very.
Invite her to make the same quantified proposition at the next EU summit. Yeah, I don't have as much political power as you do, Germany. Okay. Alright, building, housing, and roadway. Let's, We do have a positive balance, actually. Okay. Let's do 144. I got bamboozled, same. Green December, never seen you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. People often underestimate the nuisance of the power of the British. Alright then, what's going on here? Is that a cyber attack that I initiated? I don't know. Maybe it was. What's going on here? Oh, they only wanted to do that. Alright, let's get at least $1 billion off of this contract. 134. 134. So 129. 105. 129. So we can do 120. And let's call this the Roclaw. Let's call that the Roclaw Agreements. And we will do that for 2.5 years instead of 2 years. And let's send that over to the Germans, and that will expire. Oh, it only went up to 3. Okay, I guess it rounds it. Usually that works, but I guess not. So that will expire in 2023, February 13th, 2023, and it's just the day before, what do you call it, Valentine's Day. Damn, now I gotta hide under the blankets and play sleeping. Actually, I watched your videos before, but on another account. Maybe if you, what's the account name? Probably to recognize it. Imagine cyber attacking your allies. I know, right? Imagine there's this whole drama with the UK and Poland. PJ. Did you call me PJ? PJ? Who the hell is PJ? Who are you watching? Are you cheating on me? That sucks. That's just I feel hurt. I feel hurt. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Do you already have another Power and Revolution Let's Play already planned? Well, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and restart the United States series.
Well done. You have just
Roll agreement with Germany first contract. Awesome. We'll look at the status of that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and restart the Joe Biden series, especially since he just got inaugurated. So we're gonna continue the United States series, and honestly, I've thought about a couple of different Let's Plays. I'm sorry, I'm just messing. I'm just pulling your tail, dude. Poland could actually be a really cool series that I would actually like to do, especially with what's going on over there. We could leave the European Union.
Good morning.
And then just there could be a couple of different goals for that series. So we're gonna go ahead and not do that. But there's a lot of growth that I could do. I mean, I could actually shoot to grow the economy by $500 billion within the next 10 years. So Poland could be a good candidate for that. Turkey, I mean, I haven't done a Turkey series in like 4 years, so Turkey could be one. I could actually return to Iran. That could be a good one. I'm not going to do India. I thought about doing India, and Gabe beat me to it, so go and watch Gabe's India series if you have not. People's Republic of China, maybe not. I don't. Maybe. I don't know. Really depends. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I could do as China, but I don't know about the feasibility of it. Poland. I think I might do Poland. I could actually do a poll about it. And then I could actually. I know there was one thing. I think Brazil actually won. So I could actually put it up to a vote. So I could do like Poland, Brazil, Indonesia, as Gabe said. So I could actually possibly do Indonesia. Did you ever thought of making a separatist movement or a terrorist movement series? Yeah, I mean, but the thing about that is that again, the feasibility of it. I mean, it's good for a live stream or something like that, but then it would be really hard to monetize that, I think, because the titles for the videos would look so suspicious, and I don't want to ring any bells for any agency looking at my channel. So I mean, I could do that, but the monetization issue would come into play. Iraq could be another one. Since Iraq is actually playable now, I could do Iraq. So I could do like Iraq, Poland, Brazil. I could put all of that to a vote. Not Kazakhstan, maybe Italy, but I don't know about Italy. Good starts for first bill of success. Congratulations, Prime Minister Avia has succeeded in coaxing the National Assembly into an agreement. This individual is a member of the parliament. He is the Speaker of the House, and we just abolished the national service. So now we are saving that money, and I would definitely bring it back in the future. Just not right now. We just need to save money. PG regime change series. Yeah. I mean, that could be a possibility. France is the most detailed in the game. A France series would be interesting. Yeah, France could also be another one. France could definitely be an idea for that. And let's go ahead and go to whenever my army... Oh, we have a hostage situation. Polish Patriotic Front. Oh, God. Extreme right. Yikes. Yikes. Jamaica, we're gonna say no to that meeting. Are you trying to get rid of the military? Journalists, close contract with officials in this tricky affair. Might be acceptable to hand some to the organization to modify their current stance. According to them, it's not strictly speaking a ransom, but more guarantee of intentions for the support of a legitimate cause. Nope. See, now they're mad. That wonder they're mad. And let's see if I can increase it by 5,000 without serious protesting. Guess not. We're gonna shoot.
What in the name of God is going on? Have the what? Listen, I'm telling you straight. With so few professional soldiers, I can conflict. If you want to have the country with its hands and feet tied to the first enemy, then just guarantee that it's going to kick off in the barracks.
Yeah, I guess sometimes don't get rid of the national service. Watch out for growth. Oh yeah, let's look at my growth rate real quick. 4.12%, and doing a little bit better. With you two did not see me, so we're not having to worry like we did with Iran. The devs are French, so I guess they have data about their country more easily. Yes, they do. Taxation. I want to get this value-added tax down to like 20% instead of the 23% that it's at. It's way too high. I don't understand neo-Nazis in Slavic countries. Okay, you deleted it. I hate how it like automatically, and that's not me hiding those comments, by the way. I know what you just tried to say, and YouTube automatically hides it. So I guess because you said the word Nazi, that's the reason why it blocked itself. So I apologize for that. That's not me hiding those comments. It's YouTube doing that. It's just their automatic censors because they just hear or see the word Nazi, and I'm probably gonna get demonetized for the amount of words, the blocked words that I've said on this series. So again, if you guys can support me in a more personal way, becoming a member is going to be the best way you can do that, and super chatting as well. Even if it's a couple of dollars, it's fine. It still helps. It's something that I'm at least getting for this thing, even though I'm possibly going to be demonetized just for saying one word. Even though I'm not saying anything about it, I'm just saying the word because y'all are saying it, because I'm kind of replying to your comments. So It's the fun thing about reading chats. Unless I just go over to Twitch. Thought about going over to Twitch, but it's a completely different world over on Twitch. It's a completely different world. Let's go over to Germany. I'm becoming a free member. Yeah, that's the best one. PG, add the conscripts number to professional numbers, then voila, you have the same strength. Yes, that is the goal. So let's increase that to 30,000. Just want to increase it to around where it was at, because we did have... Ooh, yep, see, there's the protests. Pacifist Union, whatever. See, watch this. Pacifists, temporary electricity restriction, a decline in performance for our users. We are currently struggling to meet demand for electricity because their production capacity is insufficient. To avoid power outages, we must temporarily reduce the voltages we provide users by 5%. Most of the day-to-day appliances will continue to function, but it will still reduce their performance. We should think about increasing our supply of electricity. Let's go over to Germany. Let's ask for a purchase contract, and let's go over to electricity. They have an electricity surplus. Let's ask for about 15 terawatts. Hmm. 15 terawatts. What if we go over to Ukraine? Electricity. Dang it, I didn't look. Don't apologize. He shouldn't have said it. Yeah, he was putting it into like a question. Because he basically said like why do neo-Nazis in the Slavic countries exist? And that's what he said. It's just that y'all didn't see it. I saw it and I started reading it, but he had deleted it by the time I started reading it. So yeah, it's what I was saying is that the algorithm automatically removes it for not really a stupid reason, but just because it just detects a certain word, and then it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you talking about Nazis or something? Like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and sell or buy this. Let's see if we can buy that.
The national...
Yeah. And 167. Jesus Christ. Let's go ahead and throw that down for about a year, and we're gonna go ahead and accept that contract. Just want to make sure that I am able to provide my own electricity. But we're gonna have to buy from other countries for the time being. Yikes, that was a really unpopular move. Commercial response, we have an overabundance of electricity now. It's kind of funny. See, electricity surplus from that contract is 5. Import-export balance, -6, and now it's -1. PG, can you have a hostage taking 2016 version? Yes, you could have hostage takings in I had hostage takings in Masters of the World. Let's do aluminum, building, housing, and roadway. So we have a surplus that I could actually sell off. Well, no. Cuba, no, we're not going to worry about you right now. Health response. Yeah, I'm importing it. Don't think I'm going to sell any of the surplus that I literally just started importing. So we go over to energy again. So I think our economy is small enough to where we don't have to worry about that, like, getting up to, like, -15 by, like, 2 months from now. I think it's, like, small enough to where it kind of, like, incrementally, slowly kind of goes down.
Our fiscal performance in the last quarter.
So we were issued $1.2 billion worth of debt. PG, why go with renewable, and how? Well, how, all you have to do is just build renewable energy parks. And one of the things about going renewable is that you are able to provide, for one, your own electricity, and then two, it's cleaner electricity. If you can actually get rid of your fossil energy plants or go to carbon capture methods, the reason that you want to do that is because if you don't do that, and if the world doesn't do that by 2030, the amount of the climate disasters that you're going to be going through are going to be significantly worse. So let's go. I want to do this real quick because of the pacifists. Pacifists are going to love this decision. Let's go to farming. We're going to do $50 million.
Here is our growth forecast for the end of the year based on calculations.
Oh, look at that. Our annual growth rate is
an average
exactly 3%. That is actually cool. Unemployment's sitting around 4%. PG, but is there climate change in 2016 version? No. If you're in a 2016 version, you really don't have to worry about climate change because that obviously didn't get implemented until the 2019 edition. The 2016 edition, basically all you have to do, the renewable, it's just about electricity. And even in the 2016 version, you don't have to worry about electricity shortages. That didn't get introduced until the 2018 edition. So the energy situation in 2016 edition is basically just like, it's just realistic if you just increase the amount of energy parks that you have. I also like how I'm playing this live stream and it says Islamic Republic of Iran, and I'm playing as Poland, so it's kind of funny. But anyway, we have been streaming for over an hour and a half, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this. Kind of sucks that I'm poor and they upped their anti-piracy game. Yeah, just get the money to buy it and buy it yourself. It's a lot better if you can just buy it yourself and you get updates. I understand that you don't have the ability to buy it yourself, but the only thing about pirating, if you are playing a pirated version, the thing about pirating is that you don't get updates. You are not playing the same game that everyone else is, and then even with the 2016 version, you're not really playing the 2016 version because it's going to be a lot more bugged than it usually would be. But and yeah, so either A, I'll wait a few years then. Yeah, nowadays it's not taken seriously. This game has anti-piracy. Yeah, they've been upping it pretty recently. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this live stream up. So guys, if you guys like this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to do anything, if you have any suggestions about what you want me to play in the future, definitely hit that down in the comments below. I'm gonna go ahead and try to start increasing the amount of live streams that I can do. We could actually return back to games like the political process and more. So again, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Guys, please join the Discord if you have not. So if you are seeing the Nightbot, click that Discord link and join the Discord if you have not. So again, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys all for watching this live stream, and I will see you guys in the next one.
they've been out